All right, so now this is one of the parts we're going to talk about the AI features inside Content Hub and some of the things people will be most excited about. So integrating AI is a big focus of HubSpot, and it's clearly evident that people want to use it and want to use it well, right? And so HubSpot has been rolling out a lot of AI features over the last year. One of the things that's been on the side of this has been ChatSpot, which has been kind of, I would call it like their testing that they've been doing on the side, making it available to everyone. But they've been rolling this into HubSpot progressively, which is nice to see. And as Craig, you said, some of them are like glorified spell checking tools and some are just noise in terms of like content creation, etc. And I want to just highlight to people with a lot of this stuff, let's talk about creating content, right? I think you as a person need to know what does great content look like, right? And when you know what that looks like, then using these tools is actually a benefit and a speeding up in terms of your workflow and your process and your ability to get the answer quicker. It's just like looking at an image, right? When we look at an image, it's visually you can see, oh, hang on, that doesn't look right. That person's got 5 fingers. They should, they have 6 fingers. They should have 5, right? But I think in content, when we're talking about these AI tools creating content, people don't have that level of, what should I say, in terms of being very specific about is that good or not, right? And I have to keep reminding people they're great to use, but know what great looks like when you're creating content and then use the tools to get to that end outcome. So let's talk about AI in blog posts, Craig. What's one of the things here that you've discovered?
Well, I want to talk about that. And at the start of the show, we said we'd call out stuff if we thought it wasn't very good. And we'll highlight, we've talked about lots of things we like. This AI, I just think it's producing junk, Ian. And so the reason I say that is, look, I think ideation can be good. ChatGPT, great.
Agreed.
Maybe even helping you lay it out, some of those things. Yeah, that can be good. But generating the content, which is what people are going to do. They're just looking for an easy way to generate content. It's just junk. It's just noise. And I'm really sad to see this kind of turning up in HubSpot videos that, oh yeah, use the blog tool. Not only can you generate the idea, give it a keyword, generate the titles, it'll generate it all for you. I'm like, if it's that easy, people will just do it themselves in ChatGPT. They're not going to bother coming to your blog to see a post you've written using tools that they can just use themselves. And plus, Google's weeding it out. It's really, initially it was like, if AI content, it's great. If it's good and useful, we'll keep it. But now they're getting a lot more.
Correct.
What's the word? Discerning.
Discerning.
And so I would be very careful about using these tools for creating content and then posting out there. And I've seen these HubSpot demos where they go, oh, look, a few clicks, it's generated a blog post. Oh, quick, generate an image. Bang, you've got a blog post out there. And it's like, that's really bad advice. So what's my summary? It feels like, I'm really bagging this out. And I am. I just think it's a bad approach. I don't think AI tools are bad, but I think the usage of them in some cases is just noise. And this is an example where the usage I don't think will be particularly good.
But here's one that we do like, and it's the AI post narration, Craig.
This, on the flip side, is excellent.
That's right. And so this is the ability, and this is available on blogs, the ability to narrate the post. And I must say, I was actually quite impressed in terms of the AI voice and the realistic nature of it. But a great way to add something else to your blog to give people another way of consuming your content. And you can use this now. Craig has noted in here on one of the blog posts that we had narrated, it got the pronunciation of lead magnet and called it a lead magnet. So you can see that there are still things to be worked on, but I actually think this is one of those super exciting things where it's just helping us reach people in a different way, because some people just want to listen to stuff just like they listen to podcasts. Some people want to read stuff. Some people want to watch stuff, right? And this is just giving them another way to interact with our content.
I agree. I think this is what we call background usability. So we've started going through our HubShots episodes and just adding this. It's a no-brainer. It just does it. As you said, I think the voices are listenable. They're not terrible like they used to be maybe 6 months ago. They're actually bearable. They're getting better rapidly. And if you don't want to go over and get our podcast or find it on YouTube or Spotify, but you just want to just set it running in the background in your tab, in your browser. Great. There you go. So I'm quite excited about this, and we'll chat further about this when we talk about AI translation a little bit later.
All right, the next AI tool is the AI image generator. This has been available in ChatSpot for a little while. One thing I do think, Craig, is it is getting better, but you use a lot of Midjourney, and so I think there is still a vast contrast between the two. So do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Pros and cons. Midjourney, we've been using it for more than a year now, in depth, and for our clients. We've got a whole guide on it, so you can download that. It's been very popular.
What's your hashtag, Craig? Never use a stock image again. Is that right?
It's like Midjourney just replaced stock images. It's that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you need to prompt it well, and of course, there's multiple variations sometimes for that 6-finger problem that you talk about. You know,
Yes.
that people say. I'm not saying it gets it right the first time, but it produces very high quality stuff, and we do this for a lot of clients. But there's friction there because we're working on a page on their website, you know, HubSpot page, working on, I've got to get an image. Okay, we'll switch out to Midjourney, which has its own interface. We won't chat about that now. That's friction. I'd love to just do it within HubSpot. And so that's the promise of HubSpot's AI image generator. And as you said, it's not quite where Midjourney is, so we don't use it yet. We still use Midjourney, but I'd love to see that gap close where we got to the point where like, I just use HubSpot's AI image generator. I'd love that. Just makes it more efficient, seamless. And it's also then it's something we can hand over to clients. At the moment, we still do a lot of the Midjourney generation for our clients. And I just don't feel that's something that we should have to do for too much longer. I mean, it's not well, I guess it is high value getting it right, but it shouldn't be. This should be something the tool does. So I'm glad to see that coming and looking forward to that. It's my guess that by the end of the year, a few short months away, and that HubSpot's image generator will be excellent.
Now, Craig, I did want to say in the image tool is that you'll see, because HubSpot has a integration with Canva, right? Now, you can go to Canva. Canva also has an AI image generator. So I thought, I'm just going to try this out as well. Again, not great, probably slightly better than HubSpot's one, but I still think Midjourney is definitely far better, but it's a great place to start. And I think with all of these things, you just have to remember, don't be afraid to try the different tools out. If there is a better tool, use the better tool. The other day, I was demonstrating something in sales is where I used the HubSpot AI tool for an email and then layered that on top of the Grammarly AI tool to make it even better. So don't be afraid to use multiple tools to get a great result and to speed up your process in this.
Yeah, I think that's right. All of that will change this year because having to switch out, it's almost like saying, I prepare my content in this tool, then I go somewhere else to spell check it. It's like, what? That's inefficient. Surely that'll change. And it will. It's moving things are changing so rapidly. It's such an exciting time. The efficiencies that we're seeing change it seems every week it's better. Now with the image tools, our team, the Zen Create team, are always checking them. And so every month or two, we put together a roundup blog post where we compare them. And you're right. Yeah, Midjourney is still the best for most of the images we do for clients, but it is rapidly closing. The other tools are catching up.
All right. Talk about AI translations, Craig.
I'm excited about this one. If you've gone to, just think about Google's translation tools. If you've gone to a foreign language website lately and just said translate into your language, I am increasingly finding I cannot tell. I would never know that it was originally in foreign language. Google Translate is that good.
That's true. It's
been very good for a while, but it is so good now. And we're seeing that coming through. So what I'm excited about is just having this built in to HubSpot. I don't think they're using Google's Translate, but other tools doing translation. And what I would like to do, because I know we have listeners for HubShots in Latin America and a lot in Europe and other countries, I'd love to be creating Spanish versions of our episode show notes and also French, just because I'm learning French at the moment. I'd love to kind of use that language as well, but plenty of others. And I'd love to do it automatically and just have confidence in the translation. So we could just do like we do now, the show notes, great, create it, and then just, HubSpot, just create the Spanish version, bang, and publish that as a Spanish version of the blog. I would love that. I think it's coming. I think we're just on the cusp.
That's right.
And by the end of this year, we'll be just like, all of these tools are here. And then combine that with the AI narration, which I think only supports English at the moment.
Yes.
But it'll support other languages in time. And so then you'd be like, oh, okay, here's the Spanish version. Oh, do a Spanish narration audio file as well. Bang, automatically. This is it. And so what this does, and this is the big unlock, Ian, you and I spend a lot of time preparing this content, this show. I mean, you know, this particular episode, 10,000 words. A lot of effort's gone into this. I think that's where we should be spending our time. That's a good use of our time.
Correct.
But then creating other versions and promoting it and repurposing the content and all that, we're terrible at that. Well, I am. I don't want to. Our team takes care of some of that, but a lot of this I feel is like the real value is creating the initial source content.
Yeah.
And then splitting it up, mixing it up, other languages, other versions. That's something that tools and processes should take care of for us. And I'm very excited to see that coming.
All right, let's talk about the AI Ads Assistant. This is relatively new and not a part of our focus, but I felt like it does fall under the content part, and initial tests have actually been quite good. I've used it a few times now to generate ads and just even sometimes rewrite ads that we already might have. So if you're actually testing, or you've got this very specific thing that you're testing, I think is a great place to start and a great tool to use just to generate different ideas for copy. So well worth trying to use it.